Welcome back to Mario 3. So now time to finish this up. Alright, for next castle.
I never really got the point of that whole obscure the rest of the
Me neither.
field map in darkness. Like, it's not like, you know...
It doesn't do anything.
Mysterious.
It doesn't really do anything though. Like, it's not like it's such a weird decision on that part, to be honest with you. Alright, so...
What's the mystery? Oh, well, what number is next?
Okay. That being said, none of us takes the cake to the fact that in World, Bowser literally leaves a back door to his castle.
Bowser's not very smart.
That's the thing about World. World is a very...
Some people have is that Bowser kind of wants to be defeated because he's a masochist.
Okay.
And then there were the whole theories that popped up when the Super Crown entered the equation.
So yeah, this is another maze that can be a bit frustrating if you don't know specifically what you're supposed to do. Specifically, once again, you have to try to make sure to remember to search very quickly whenever during the P switch time, because again, the P switch will make certain doors appear that wouldn't appear otherwise. So yeah.
And of course, you gotta make sure you don't fall for those trick gaps that make you trapped in there.
There you go, Tail. Dry bones.
Okay.
And I forgot what happens when you fall into those spotlights.
So that was the. Is this the debut of the dry bones?
Yes.
Yes.
As well as the booze, as well as
The chain jumps.
the Koopalings, or little Koopas, actually.
Because since I never got far in this game, I always assumed that they made their first appearance in like Mario Land 2.
I recommend the All Stars version because it has a save system.
I think Kamek premiered in World though.
Yeah, I think so. Yes. There you go. This is okay. Hold on. I think I'm gonna get it later. First, yeah. Let's first see what's in here. Yeah. Hey, boo.
Bye, boo.
Let's go back. All right. So one of those two blocks has a P switch, and this is the P switch that actually has the door that you're supposed to go through. There you go. So let's try it. Oh, dead end. Okay.
Darn it.
Wait, a flower.
Aha! See, turns out there's another door that the P switch makes appear. So let's try it again. Fortunately, the P switch does respawn, unlike most of the other blocks, so you'll be fine. Now you wait a bit so that there you go.
There we are.
And now we have to fight Boom Boom on a conveyor belt.
Simple enough.
Well, it's a moving conveyor belt over it. It's never simple when you're on one of those things.
Alright.
If you know the routine, you're good.
Ow! I banged my face in the wall.
Again, Dwibs, no need to hug all the rolls.
Alright, moving on.
No one else was doing it.
Like, one of my favorite vocal quotes for me from Charles Martinet is actually playing as Luigi in Mario Golf Toadstool Tour. When you circle to Luigi on the character select screen, he's like, Luigi,
Yeah,
Luigi,
that's
oh yeah, Luigi. Go on, sorry.
No, that's what he says. You look ridiculous.
But no, like seriously, if you leave the cursor on Luigi on the character select screen of that game, he's I'm not kidding. He never stops. He just repeats it all the time. Luigi, oh yeah, and there you go. All right, now we're almost there. Final stretch.
Another tank Bowser is sent after us.
Also, one unnecessary title, Charles Martinet, probably one of my favorite esque kind of moments is in the, I think, the Wii Mario Strikers, when Luigi's victory pose is literally telling people to suck his dick.
And he also has purple
Luigi, yeah.
as his special.
How did they got away with that?
Okay, look. You have to realize that game's the reason why things changed for a while. That's and Super Paper Mario.
You know what? I like Super Paper Mario. It gave us Mr. L after all.
Well, see, the reason I'm okay with the reason I'm okay with Super Paper Mario is because that game is, as the name implies, more of a spin-off rather than an actual next proper Paper Mario game. Whereas Sticker Star was actually sold to us as the next Mario game, the proper follow-up to Thousand Year Door.
I had to admit, I did not knew completely much about it, but Shaka Conroy's retrospective / roasting of the game has been very insightful so far.
Super Paper Mario is the Earthbound of Mario games. I will not
What does that
elaborate.
even mean?
I'm not going to elaborate.
Why does Lava Land have those mushrooms in there?
They're poisonous mushrooms, of course.
know what's
Bad for your
screwed?
health.
I guess. So yeah, Bowser's Castle has ego much,
A
Bowser?
security system.
I mean, it's Bowser, what do you expect?
And in true Bowser tradition, of course his castle is a maze. Alright. I'm gonna see if I can make it out with the P-Wing, but that's okay, we can use this platform here. Okay. So, yes, Dej?
No, you go on.
See, the thing is about this particular castle, pro tip, don't go into any doors, because most of the doors just bring you back to where you were at the beginning of the level. So, yeah. Go on, Dej.
No. Okay, actually, since Tia wants the explanation, basically the game is just unorthodox for the sake of being weird. Weird. And it just becomes frustrating to play. Like, the story is good, but playing through it is so boring.
So when you say Airbound, you're referring to just the Super Nintendo game or the series as a whole?
Well, Earthbound specifically, because that game is also considered to be weird.
If you ever to play Beginnings, you will know that one is much more harsh than the SNES Airbound.
Beginnings barely has a story, though.
Well, not just that, it's also more frustrating on a gameplay level.
Oh yeah, without a
Being
doubt.
the
In
first
fact,
one.
I believe they have literally admitted to a certain stage in that game not even being play tested. I think that was the mountain one.
Yes, Dej, also.
I mean this with no cap. Flipside is probably one of the worst hub worlds I've experienced in the video game. I hate navigating that place.
Sure.
Four side, that's for sure.
Like, it's probably one of the few games I've played where I picked up, put down, because I've tried. I just couldn't get into it.
Alright, moving on.
Mia, it is very hot in here.
Clearly it is. And
The
more
third time you've been doing this.
more Bowser statues.
And I still don't get paid for it.
Reminds me of
With all the coins you collect, Mario,
you
shouldn't really be a problem.
either you get paid or you get any kisses from Peach in 264.
I wonder if the Illumination Boy will have, not necessarily a joke, but like a sideway line talking about since coins are all around, the economy is in shit or something.
Alright, so the boss battle against Bowser is actually quite unorthodox for the series. Basically, yeah.
You have to especially survive, it's an endurance round.
Think of it like this. The boss of Carnival Night Act 1 probably took some inspiration from this. Where basically you're in this thing where slowly but surely the boss will take down some more bricks. So you probably already figured out what you're supposed to do.
Well, does he know you're using cheats?
Also, this is yet another track that got a great remix for Smash Ultimate.
Oh yeah.
There we go, bye!
Well, to his credit, at least he wasn't done in by an axe that he leaves in his own kingdom.
Alright, and now for the big ending.
It's also actually no,
It's a Mario 2 sprite.
the Peach rescue was already in first game, so...
Thank you, but our princess is in another castle.
Oh, you don't shoot fucking there.
Just kidding. Bye bye.
Italian.
That was something that the English version did, not the Japanese.
Yeah, in the original Japanese version, if I remember correctly, she just says the usual "Thank you, Mario," blah blah blah.
Curtain closes again.
World
the
1,
idea of a
grassland.
stage play.
Yeah, most likely to what they do in the Japanese original is they just have the same kind of this ends your tale of a long friendship spiel from the second game.
And
So, Desert Land.
World 3, Waterland.
So Mario saved the day, and he had to leave for a bit because they were renovating the environment around him for the new console.
Or 4, Giant Land.
If you remember, Blizz, the Mario World takes place in a completely different location anyway.
Yes.
And yes,
Skyland.
that was Skyland.
Dinosaur.
And now Iceland.
Iceland.
Don't mistake that with Greenland.
Iceland's the name of a shop round here.
World 7, Pipeland. Oh yeah, Darkland, that's it. I forgot about Darkland.
I mean, I guess
AKA
it's
Hell.
synonymous.
Actually, I could have sworn, was that named Hell in the original version?
Probably, considering Japan.
The end.
Yep, the end. But since this is still a short part anyway, for shits and giggles, like to keep up with the tradition that we've done of these playthroughs so far, let's check out some of the other versions. Alright, so let's take a look at Mario 3 on All-Stars, which is the version that I do recommend over the original.
Yes.
And yet, unlike the original, the title screen has its own little theme.
And look, this one actually has music during the main menu,
Yeah, that's what I said.
as opposed to the original, which, again, was
Silent.
just so...
Mario and Luigi just fucking around.
Yes, so there was number 3. I can
This
see
is the version that was later ported to the Game Boy Advance as Super Mario Advance 4. Alright, so we have 1-player game, 2-player game, and battle game.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, for now...
battle for what the game should have been called Super Luigi Brothers 3 or not.
Yeah, surprisingly they never made anything like that.
Luigi, you'll get your chance years later.
So yeah, obviously we have once again higher fidelity graphics. So let's take a look. Mario Start. There you go. Obviously a much more cleaner. There you go, too. What do you think of these aesthetics over?
Yeah, I actually like it.
There you go. So yeah, a much more cleaner menu, definitely. The colors are easier on the eyes, so...
The music is fine.
Yeah.
I still don't mind the original 8-bit, but this is not. It's not the same as.
For me, it's one of those things where...
They have with the Mario 2 US.
It's interesting because I personally prefer the 8-bit versions of the tracks over these because I don't know, there's a crunchiness to the original 8-bit versions that is kind of missing in this one for me. However, I will say that the Game Boy Advance version manages to fix that up, I will argue, like while still keeping the higher fidelity of these versions. You'll see in a moment.
Yeah, I've been listening to a few Super Nintendo tracks and Mega Drive tracks, and it's interesting how one system can do a certain type of track better than the other. Like, the Mega Drive can do better, for lack of a better term, rock-sounding tracks.
And electronic music.
Mega Man X1 aside on the Super Nintendo's case.
Wait, but everyone really loves Mega Man
X1. That's what I meant.
That's why he said, yeah.
Whereas the Super Nintendo generally did orchestral sounding tracks better.
Yeah, and in case the Lion King game.
Hence why on the Mega Drive version of The Adventures of Batman and Robin, they opted to make a more rave-ish track on that version.
Yes, NES does work with stuff like that.
Indeed. Which
is funny because that score came from the guy who would go on to make the scores for most of the Hitman games.
Isn't that a
irony.
thing? That being said, when it comes to Mega Man
Is he
X...
gonna do those 007 again?
IOR, yeah, but just because he's long since moved on from IO. The last Hitman game he did was in 2006.
All right.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to that game when it comes out, probably in the next 10 years.
All right. Yeah, this is also another thing. If you can actually jump while crouching, so that's kind of fun.
Yeah, that's one thing that they included in all these editions of the games, the super crouch jump.
Mm-hmm.
It's all in the legs.
Clearly.
Well, now who's stealing roles, Jova?
What?
Actually, the job is Mario. So, sorry, there's remember the Tails called Waluigi, so he's Waluigi. So.
I thought you were.
Oh no, I can't believe Tails doesn't sell.
Oh my God, Twibs!
That's
Your memory.
again,
again.
it's more playing into the eternal loser stereotype over the fact. Remember that every time I get invited to a party that I have a group of friends with Switches, the obligatory thing has to be a Mario Party run because it's always the same thing. I pick Waluigi and I always arrive last.
It's funny because I have to pick Daisy, and so far that has helped my luck in Mario Party.
Good to know.
Reminds me. One of my favorite of the brain scratch runs is their play of Mario Party, where Lewis picks Peach, and he has such tremendous luck he basically gains by doing nothing. So that one's pretty funny.
I'm glad to say this.
Holy crap! They fixed Fire Mario, guys!
Yay.
They fixed Fire Mario!
I have to say
And the Fire Flower, too!
This remix version of the Castle theme is not really good.
Like I said, there's a certain crunchiness to the original 8-bit tracks that is kinda missing in these versions.
That's fixed in the Game Boy Advance version.
Alright, so the GBA version actually has its own opening.
Ominous.
In fact, Mario Galaxy probably took some cues from this. Go on.
Isn't the GBA music basically just the Super Nintendo one, just slightly crunched a bit? Yeah, but that's the thing. That in this case, I actually think it actually works in the favor of the game because it kind of gives it back the crunchiness that the SNES tracks were missing. So.
That's the king.
And Toad is like, well, I tried.
Fuck my life.
And there you go.
We actually get to see the kings transform.
Dear Princess Peach, I have terrible news. Those evil Koopalings are spreading chaos all across Mushroom World. I wasn't done with that. Like.
Side Toad. Hey, I'm reading that, you asshole.
Pantomime.
Luigi.
Wait, Mario!
Luigi, go find Daisy if you want to simp fun with somebody.
It's funny because Mario would be the first one to actually rescue Daisy, and arguably Daisy gave him a much better reward than Peach usually does.
There you go.
Here we are.
Well, there we are. Really confusing
Super Mario
titles.
Advance 4.
Super Mario Advance 4, Super Mario Brothers. Which one is it?
Because it's the 4th Advance game.
Yeah.
Also, those are your accessibility options, so sometimes the game might turn off if you play for too long.
Oh, I'm surprised you're not going to. You didn't record the e-reader.
The e-reader bits? Can you even do that in an emulator?
Yeah.
Huh.
I can give you the file.
That's okay. Alright. Yeah, there you go. See, I actually do prefer the GBA tracks over the SNES ones, actually. I think this is actually one of those rare cases where the GBA sound speakers actually does work more in its favor. I will argue.
Yeah, the GBA ports, honestly, I would not mind seeing ported to Switch because they pretty much all have the great bells and whistles.
Well, Jova,
arguably some of the best looks. They have voice acting.
Just what I need. It's just the same tracks from the other remakes. You, just what I needed. No problem. It's the same track.
The Wii U version of the port of Advance 4.
Yes.
That has all the e-reader levels by default.
Well, there you go then.
Okay.
All right, and that was Super Mario Brothers 3. So, Dwez, was it worth the hype of that we saw in the Wizard?
It's good. I'm not sure if it was worth having to sit for a bunch of creepy things, though. I mean, God. But anyway, I've talked enough about the movie. Let's focus on the game. The game itself, it's pretty good. It's back to traditional Mario formula, unlike the last one, which was basically another game wearing a Mario skin. Since this is technically the next proper evolution of the series, because again, playing dress up at the last one, I think they did a pretty good job moving things along with you being able to with the overworlds and all the power-ups you can use it to your will when you pick them up. Obviously Mario World will do this better, but for a last mainline effort on the NES, it was a pretty good way to go out. Unfortunately, it wasn't the last one on the NES. I think it was those educational games.
Mario is missing.
Also, Mario's Time Machine.
Mario's Time.
Yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah.
Oh boy, I can't wait to go running around trying to find something for ages.
For
on
Benjamin Franklin. And see Mario signing the Independence Declaration of Independence.
and putting something what the game calls the wrong place, even though you logically think it was the correct one, and having to watch a bird take it away from you.
So, to sum up your final thoughts on Super Mario Brothers 3, it's quite a mouthful.
It's solid. Pretty good stuff.
Alright. Veg.
Was it worth watching a mediocre movie? No, it wasn't. We just did the commentary on our own. It would have been fine.
Deji, we wanted to create the proper context that was back in the day,
Yeah.
Honestly, despite the fact that, again, that movie did succeed in netting Nintendo more money, I have to wonder, did that many people even really go to see it for Super Mario Brothers? In the sense that, let's not forget, the movie was apparently considered a bomb, despite being on a low budget.
Alright.
Wait.
Carry on, Dej.
Yeah, this game was fun. It needs a replay. It does a lot. It did a lot to the franchise. It's still not the best 2D. That's still World to me.
Obviously.
Well, yeah, I said it.
But isn't that the more common opinion? Actually, yeah. There's still people who might prefer this one because of nostalgia or something. But I think most people agree that Mario World is the better game. Dej, carry on, please. Thank you.
Yeah, but it's a pretty fun game. Needs a replay, and that's all.
All right, go on, Jova.
Yeah, no, this is a great game. I prefer the Game Boy Advance versions because they have the best production values, ironically enough. The stuff they introduced was great. The Koopalings are keen. We even had a spin on things with Peach not getting kidnapped until near the end. Bowser takes us to hell and attacks us with all he's got, but in the end, we're still victorious. Again, there was definitely a lot of stuff that needed to be ironed out, which later games would do, of course, but no, this was a really great entry. At first the team probably may have been a bit daunted since, finally they were going to move outside of, the confines of the blocky looks of the original Mario game to something quite more expanded. And they succeeded. Oh boy, did they ever succeed. Great game, play the advanced version, and hopefully we'll get re-releases of those on the Switch.
Probably, they're probably going to...
Whatever the Switch's successor is.
Probably they'll mix a Game Boy Advance app for it, so...
Alright!
Tail.
That's me. Next. It's alright. It's on a gameplay standpoint, it's perfectly, the natural evolution that the franchise was in need for. just like I said, I don't particularly care about how the original version did look. But again, that's what the later versions, are for. I have to agree. The Game Boy Advance version seems to be the more proper one. I wouldn't mind trying that for myself in the future. Why not? But otherwise, no. It's again perfectly serviceable and a good next step for the franchise. To answer the initial question, no, it wasn't really worth seeing again what Dejimon described as a mediocre movie, but to me, so much worse. So there's that.
What about your job? Was it worth the hype and the movie?
I mean, that would really depend on how much one enjoyed the movie or not. Again,
Well, I'm talking to you, but what do you think
just-
personally? Obviously.
Is it worth watching The Wizard? Well, it is Tobey Maguire's film debut, so that is an
I'm sure
important
that
part of
just-
media history.
I'm sure that justifies all the bizarre
And the pedophilia
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
Oh no, it doesn't. But honestly, I can get why that movie got a cult following. Again, I find that movie just a hilariously bad movie, so I guess in a sense I got enjoyment out of it, so I don't really feel like I had to suffer for it. And again, it was a nice commercial, so yeah, I guess it was worth it. Again, only in the sense, though, that it is just so bad that it's entertaining. It is not a legit good time.
Doesn't take much of an intelligence to play that game, does it?
Sure.
I still can
boy.
get over that line. That line.
That
just-
line is going to live rent-free in your mind, isn't it?
No, it's because of the game he's talking about. The person who wrote that line doesn't actually know what the game is like. Clearly.
Well, again, maybe for them, TMNT wasn't as hard for some reason.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
Hold on,
One thing. Okay, hold on. One thing to keep in mind, though, is that technically the father does get set up to be humbled when he actually does try playing the game himself. So technically, that line is a line that is supposed to show the father's ignorance of video games. So technically, it does work in that context.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, for all we know, the real much intelligence is not play the game at all.
All right.
Anyway, Pedro.
Yeah.
Start with your final thoughts.
Yeah, it's an NES classic, and it's still a lot of fun today. I do have some minor issues here and there. I think some of the maze levels can be a bit too mazy. I usually prefer when Mario games are more straightforward in their level design rather than try to make things into a maze. But whatever.
A lot of Mario games, even to present day, have the maze levels.
I'll argue the 3D games have a much more cleaner execution, but that's a topic for another day. Yeah, like the power-ups are really good, cool. The music is awesome. I'm mostly okay with the way it looks. The original version, I mean, it's mostly just Fire Mario and the Fire Flower that they've really outright fucked up. Like seriously, how do you do that? Like,
Thankfully, the Fire Flower went to rehab
yeah,
and got better in later editions.
maybe the Fire Flower has a cold in this game or something. I don't know. But yeah.
We found that in Miami.
That being said, yeah, no, really classic game, and that's basically it. So basically, everybody, that was a little slice of Mario NES goodness. I hope you enjoyed it. Eventually, we'll get to Mario World. Well, the World duology rather, because there's actually two of them. Even though the original game, the original Yoshi's Island wasn't actually originally technically Mario World count the sequel. It was actually was something that the West came up with. But we'll see if it does eventually.
Yeah.
Yep.